I hope I'm public. I'm not. I don't even know if I'm going public or if it's private or unlisted or whatever. Hey, what's up? What's up, Benjamin? FG? What's up? How's it going, everybody? I can't see this the chat here on my own phone, but if I tune into my own channel, I will be able to see the. Yeah, I'll see the chat. So what's up, man? You can ask any questions that you have. Okay, let me know. Magic, witchcraft. See. One thing you need to realize is that whenever you don't have enough questions, it just means that you're not practicing enough. Okay? The questions arise the more you know about something. The more you practice, the more things are going to become unclear. And then I'm here to clarify that for you. Okay? So, if you have a good practice going on, you will have all kinds of questions. And I'm the guy that can answer them. Okay? Not a problem. Today, I made a video. I put this video out. And that was inspired by inspired by a meditation in which Lucifer showed up. Okay, and he told me to connect people to him. All right, so big things ahead of us. Because I'm gonna connect you to that spirit like no other person can. It's because I have a relationship with that spirit that no other person has. Star Ruby Quarcy. Hey everyone. What's up, Star Ruby? Let me see. Will semen retention help expedite meditation? Okay, well, will it expedite meditation? No, but it will have an effect on how much energy you got available for your manifestations. That's how it's going to affect your spiritual energy. Okay, so the more energy or the more semen retention you do, the more energy you will have available, and the more powerful your manifestations are going to be. Yeah. So there's definitely a connection there. I personally don't practice semen retention because I just like to bust a nut. What's up, Anthony? How's it going? So, look, I'll tell you in what context Lucifer showed up today. Okay? It's always as within, so without. Okay? So, what's the best way to go about apotheosis in your opinion? Good question. See, apotheosis works in a way where you begin to explore your inner world. As you begin to explore your inner world, the external world will change. That's the beginning of the spiritual process. So you gain the understanding that your inner world is connected to the outside world. And then all of the path workings that you do is you awaken and connect yourself to internal forces that are part of the spiritual universe, okay? You awaken them within yourself and then you bring them under your control. So you gain power over the spiritual universe, okay? And at one point, your path working or your apotheosis, your spiritual development works independent of any system. So your own life becomes your path, okay? Your own life becomes your spiritual ascension, okay? So I don't do path workings anymore, okay? I work with any spirit that just wants to show up, which is basically, look, as within, so without. What I have control and access over, or to, is a reflection of my spiritual development, okay? So I explore my inner world, and at the same time I expand into other people, into other things, into different realms, right? And I gain control over them, okay? During that process, that is a never-ending process, by the way, you will reach your own limits, you will reach your own limitations, okay? Now, on your journey, you met many different forces, many different spirits, many different teachers, right? And all of those shared something with you to help you overcome a certain internal block that you have, right? And oftentimes they come back at a later stage, okay? So for me, Lucifer has not been a very important theme in the last couple of years, but he used to be very, very important. I have not worked with him for a while, and today there's something that needs to be overcome within me, okay? There's an internal process that needs to happen, and boom, he shows up, you see? And he's got something to teach me, something new that I now have the ears to understand. Okay, that's how it works. So there's no individual. What's the word? There's no generic apotheosis process. You know, at one point it's completely individual. So how do you gain spiritual authority in the sense of controlling the spirits, even though they are kings of their own dominion? Well, look, it's like an aspect of your own energy or an aspect of your own psyche. You know what they say in the in the Vedas? They say that in each of your limbs, there is a God, okay? In each of your cells, there lives a God, essentially, okay? Now, what does that mean? When we speak of man being built in the image of God, it means that you are a reflection of the Creator, okay? Creator not in the sense of Christian God, but let's keep it at that. The Creator. You are a reflection of the Creator, okay? So, in the totality of your potential, you are everything and you're connected to everything. And as such, you are more than any individual spirit. So the whole can control the smaller part, you see. So that's why you can control any spirit. You're the creator. That's also the state of consciousness that you need to have if you want to command a spirit in any vocation. You can't go in there and be like, oh, all-powerful demon, please do this and that and the other. You go in there and speak with the authority of the Creator, okay? And that's when you're going to get the result. How does fasting help with magic manifestations? Your energy sensitivity is going to be better if you're fasted, because when you're digesting food, there's some digesting going on, which is an energetic process, and it's kind of like it's a distraction. Okay, it's a distraction of your focus, your energy, and all of that stuff. It takes energy to make this other stuff, this external stuff, part of your body. It takes energy, you see. And fasting is good. So human spirit is in a way higher than spirits because we are part of the whole. Yeah, you can say that. Our potential is higher. Our potential is greater. The most humans are not there. Absolutely not. Most humans are completely attached to their physical body. Yeah. So most humans are not there. What kind of stuff can be given to spirits as an offering that is ruled by the moon? Some advice, for example. Kind of. To gain full ability over your full spectrum of psychic senses, is that solely down to chakra work? No, it's not solely down to chakra work. It's, oh man. And it's first and foremost having the desire to do that. Look, as of now, I've come to the conclusion that your limitation is where your desire is. The physical is the result of energy fields that are morphing the physical, okay? They assemble materials to match a non-physical blueprint. You know, an example for that will be morphogenetic fields that allow a body or an organ or whatever to develop, okay? A 4D or 5D energetic blueprint that then allows for 3D manifestations, all right? So in the same way, you will be given and you will be able to attain the abilities that you ask for. Okay, it's just a problem that most people don't have the consistency to keep this idea or this intention alive, or this energy field alive enough so that it can actually have a physical result to it. Okay. Yeah, I mean, this is something that you can this is something you can apply anywhere. Okay, see, today I was working on a couple of things, okay, but among those is, for instance, relationships. I just got out of a discussion about how a relationship should be. Okay, what she doesn't know is that I have created an energetic blueprint for the relationship that I want to have a long time ago, and I'm energizing it continuously, and I know exactly what the relationship is going to look like at the end, you see. So all that it takes is consistency. So I'm energizing this energetic blueprint, and everything in the physical world is going to fall in line. Now, it's going to look as if it's like, of course, we're going to go through a sequence of events in the physical, okay? Arguments are going to be part of it. Misunderstandings, you know, experiences, but all of those are orchestrated by this energy field that I've created. It's a non-physical energy field in 5D, in the spiritual world, and it is orchestrating physical events. Okay, by, you know, moving energies in a certain direction. So I already know the outcome of everything. It's just a matter of maintaining my energy, my focus on that thing. And everything else will fall into place. And you can do that with any aspect of your life, you see, which I recommend. You should have an idea of what your life's going to be, right? Why do you live by chance? That's ridiculous. I know exactly where I'm going to be 10 years from now. I'm going to know exactly where I'm going to be 20 years from now. I know exactly like what's going to happen. And that's how you're actually supposed to live your life. I know that you've been taught different, YOLO, and like just let things happen, you know, and all this other bullshit. But it's not true. You're supposed to live with intention and a plan. Okay? And then you bring this plan into physical existence. How? Consistency. Okay? So if there would be any ability that I would say that determines or that separates the winners from the losers, it's consistency and discipline. That's it. Consistency and discipline. That's it. Because you gotta consistently energize what it is that you want, and then it will appear. You know? You can do the same thing in any area of life. You have a vision for your body? Do that. Just energize it. You have a vision for your money, your finances, where you want to be with your money. First, you got to create the energetic blueprint and then feed it energy. The only difference between energy and this is that this is more dense. This is like a lot of energy condensed in a small space, which is matter. Okay? So all you got to do is have an idea and energize it long enough, and then boom, it's going to be there. Now in the meantime, you're going to go through bullshit. You have to transform yourself into that, you see? Which is not comfortable. Growth is never comfortable. But you got to embrace it. You got to be willing to go through that bullshit. You know? There's so many questions here. When you told us about breaking the auric shield, like what should be the intention behind creating the sigil? What kind of an affirmation should be sigilized before transferring into the death chakra? Isn't that intuitive? Like the intention is to break the auric shield, right? Isn't that kind of? I thought that was in like clear, but okay. Well, the intention of the sigil bomb is to be a sigil bomb. The intention of a sigil bomb, or rather, imagine you throw a hand grenade into a house. What's the intention behind it? Boom, right? So you want to destroy this thing. You want to weaken it. Is raising an altar to a specific spirit an integral part of working with spirits in some traditions? Is that part of your practice too? Yes, I used to do that a lot. And it is part of specific traditions, yes. The only thing where I really have to, like these days, where I really keep doing that is when I work Santeria and Palo, okay? And in my other practices, I don't have one specific altar, except one altar where I worship my own higher self. That's one. Outside of that, I don't have I have statues, I have like implements, you know, for different spirits, but never an entire altar. It's because there are so many different spirits, you know, like they alternate so fast. Wouldn't be possible for me to keep up with that. When creating the blueprint in the spiritual, is that formed through focusing on the desire, intent? Exactly. Yes, that's what it is. You have to make it real. The universe works in a way where the clearer you perceive it, the more you plant seeds in the invisible. All right? Even when we say we speak things into existence, we speak of those things, but actually we're just convincing ourselves to actually perceive the world like that. We perceive reality in that way through speech. Okay, so it's all about perception. Perception. What is perception? Let's describe that. You choose a certain reality. That is perception. You claim a certain reality. Yeah? That's how it works. But how come our potential is greater than this almighty than this almighty spirit? Where does it come from? Thank you for teachings. Well, how can he be almighty if you're not everything, if I may ask? A spirit, no matter who it is just an aspect of reality. So if you are connected to everything, your potential must be greater than that. You see? So, but that's not something that really can be explained. You can read it in the Vedas, maybe, study the Vedas if you want. But you have to experience it, experience it. How did you get into Palo? How did I get into Palo? I've been called into it. And then I contacted a man that is, it's called a Tata Ankisi, a high priest in that tradition. And then I went to Cuba and got scratched. Could consistent meditation have the same effect as a ritual? I feel like I don't have time for much else. Yeah, you can turn your ritual, you can turn your meditation into a ritual, yeah. Switch around your mantras. In a meditative state, once you hit this transcendent state, just focus on one thought. The closer you become one with everything, the more powerful and the more potent your manifestations. So if you go in a transcendent state and then just intend something or visualize something or speak things into existence, they're so much more powerful. Absolutely. Is it written as Vedas? Yes. Yeah. What's your plan for the Grail of the Serpent future? Well, first of all, the Grail of the Serpent is going to become part of a bigger project, which is called apotheism. Okay. You're all going to hear about that very soon, but Grail of the Serpent is essentially going to become a coaching service for, I'm only going to sell coaching packages that are like six-figure coaching project, things like that, where I teach people individually, and I get them specific results. Let's say somebody wants to learn evocation up to a mastery level. They pay me 20 grand. I sit down with them for however long it takes to teach them. Okay. See, the point is this: when you really want results and when you want the best results, you need a couple of things. You need, first of all, of course, the knowledge, which is what you can transfer through videos. The video courses and all that stuff. They're great. Books are great. But what you also need is VIP support. Basically, VIP support means you need 80% of the problems that somebody faces are the same as everybody else. You can cover that through, let's say, videos, but there are still 20% of the problems that are individual for people, you see? And for that, they need access, personal access to somebody who can really, really help them with it, okay? And that, in this case, that would be me, of course. Grail of the Serpent, it would be me, but that would be on an individual basis, okay? And what you will also find is, generally speaking, people that are able to pay that price, let's say a package that teaches somebody evocation mastery. First of all, the price is nothing. 20,000 to master evocation, because like when you're good at evocation, you can do whatever the fuck you want. Okay, so first of all, the price is nothing. But then, what you will find is that people that are capable of paying that price, generally speaking, 5 figures, and they're able to invest that in a specific coaching. It means these people are usually also people that actually apply the knowledge, okay? They're people that are usually disciplined. They're people that are reliable. So you get better results, okay? And they will also be less of a problem. I'll tell you what, the worst clients and the most problems you will have with people that with a low price point. The lower the price of your products, the more problems, I guarantee it. I did this experiment once where it was a $10 charge, okay? And it was a call, I think I did it with a Rosh, right? And we were sitting there and talking about our experiences with Zapara, I think, right? And we charged $10. Now, of course, a lot of people came on, but I tell you, I never had more bullshit happening, Just bullshit after bullshit after bullshit. And that shows, the price attracts a certain type of person, So in my mind, it makes no sense to waste my time on other things, you see. So the Grail of the Serpent sooner or later is going to become like a coaching program, more or less, where you can purchase specific coaching packages, and then I can actually spend the time there. I can spend some time on that thing, and who knows? I mean, I don't know where I'm going to take this, but it's definitely going to be part of something bigger, of a polytheism. Must have been years ago. That wasn't that long ago. I think it was 2020. Yeah, there's a lot of bullshit going on there. Are some people's by nature more directed to be winners or losers, or that is completely their perception for real? I don't believe that. Look, I believe that everybody can affect their destiny to a certain extent. See, there's this thing called, in psychology, they call that external control and internal control, okay? Or basically a internalized control or externalized control. What does that mean? See, there are 2 types of people. People that believe that their life is out of their control. And there are other people that believe that fundamentally they can affect the course of their lives, okay? Now, your well-being and happiness, psychologically, emotionally, and even physically, is completely determined on your belief that you can affect the outside world, meaning you have an internalized control belief. You believe that you, through your own actions and through your own intelligence, can figure things out to improve your life. Okay? That is a healthy psychological state, and if you don't have that, you have the opposite, which is basically you believe that things happen to you randomly. There's this experiment that they did with some dogs, okay? They call that learned helplessness. Learned helplessness is the following, okay? They had these dogs caged in, okay? And they started to randomly shock they started to randomly electrify the floor below the dogs, okay? There was no pattern to it. There was no pattern to it. They were just randomly electrifying the floor, okay? And in the beginning, the dogs were trying to jump back and forth and blah, 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 right? And, but at one point, since there was no, they couldn't control it, there was nothing they could do to affect if they would be shocked or not. They would just stand in one spot and not do anything. Okay, they would just stand there and not do anything. They were apathetic. They had become apathetic. Okay, and they could keep shocking them. They would not move because they felt they had no control over it. Of course, they could have moved somewhere else, but and in addition to that, the barrier to step out of that field where they were being electrocuted was very, very low. Any dog could have jumped over it, but they didn't because they had, through this experience, they had internalized the belief that they couldn't affect anything. Okay? So this is what we call an externalized control belief, meaning the belief that they can't control the outside world. They can't control their own life or the conditions of it, okay? And something similar happens to a lot of people. They, through different experiences, they start learning, or they start having the belief that they can't affect their own life, you know? Look outside, look in people's faces, look at how they move, look at their fucking lives, look what they do. This is the majority of the population, okay? They worry about conspiracy theories. They're outside of their control zone. And their mind goes outside of their own lives and what they can control through their own actions. They go into something that's called, what's that called? Well, bottom line, they focus on things that they can't control. You know, politics, conspiracy theories, the Rothschilds, the rich, the blah, 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 all of this shit, right? The Jews. All of this stuff, right? So they worry about all of these things that first of all, have very little to do with their direct experience in life, and number two, they can't control them, they can't affect them. And what happens simultaneously is their own life falls apart. Their own life becomes worse and worse and worse, right? And the difference is, once again, do you have the deep belief that you can, through your own actions, take control over your own circumstances? Can you improve them? And if you don't have that, you will be a loser. If you do have that, you will be a winner. That's it. Because if you believe that you can do something, you will be able to you will find a way. You will find a way to make it happen. Okay? That's the difference. So I don't think that's genetic or it has nothing to do with it. It's basically how a person thinks. Is your mind wired, you know? Now the problem is, like the dogs, you know, humans can also be conditioned. And sadly, a lot of people in this world become conditioned that they have no control over their own lives. You see? When in reality, man, we live in 2021. You're connected to the internet. You have fucking it's just fucking mind-boggling. You have access to all the knowledge in the world through your phone. Like, how crazy is that? Like, think about that. Think about it. It's insane. Any information, the newest science on this and that and the other. You want to learn how to trade stocks, and boom, you can pull it on your phone. See, but this is the point. It's not about what is outside of you. It's about how you process it. It's about the psychological makeup, you see? Which brings us back to what I was talking about earlier. Listen, I'm telling you the secrets to occult mastery again and again and again and again. But what is stopping you from applying that? It's your psychological blocks, you see? And this is why you need individual coaching, for instance. This is why everybody has their own problems internally. They need to be fixed, you know. That's it. It's the psychological blocks that people have. And one of them is basically, are you convinced that you have control over your own circumstances? Or do you believe that the government stops you? You see? Or whoever, the man, you know? None of this shit is real. Well, it might be real, but it definitely doesn't affect you to the point where it should stop you from moving towards what it is. And look, even if it's not perfect, you go for 100%, that will be perfection. You reach 80%, and you can definitely reach 80%. Well, that's still good enough, you know? Who gives a shit? Like, everybody just wants, like, if it's not perfect, I don't want it. At the end of the day, life is about growth. It's about who you become, you see what I mean? The more opposition, the more you have to grow, which is even makes it even better, more rewarding. You listen. At the end of the day, you're not going to care about the things that you acquire or positions or your status and all this other shit. No, what you're going to work, what you're going to be about is the lessons that you learned, your understanding about life and how it increased. That's it, you know. And that's also what you should go for. It's about the person that you become. Yeah. Okay. So. Can you explain the science behind the Vors sign? Behind the science, it's probably a mudra. I don't even know what you're talking about. I probably know it under a different name of Vors. It's probably a mudra. When you capture somebody else's T-bone orange in a pot or jar, what are you able to do with it? T-bone orange, pot or jar. What are you gonna be able to do with it? Well, other than robbing that person of their gnosis or their control over things, over their own life and stuff like that, probably not much. What are you gonna do with it? You can't look. What you have to realize is you will never make yourself better by putting other people down, or it's not possible to improve your life and yourself by hurting other people. It doesn't work. I promise you, it doesn't work. There's nothing good that can come out of negative energy. But I mean, let's say you really want to destroy the person, then the T-bone orange is essentially what you could say that's their luck. Okay, that's their luck or their connection to their gnosis. What is gnosis? Gnosis is a Greek word that means like something like insight or reconnection, which is essentially your ability to connect to this field of energy around us and to affect it in some way or another. Okay, this is also where your insights, your intuition come from, your protection, your spiritual protection, and all that stuff, right? So when you steal somebody's T-bone orange, what you do is you prevent them from accessing their gnosis. So you basically have a person with massive confusion and be like all over the place. What you're gonna do is you're gonna create chaos in their lives, you know, and that's gonna turn into a downward spiral. Right? But what's that gonna do for you? I don't know. Really don't know. Any techniques to do before sleep that protect me from astral attacks during sleep? Okay, when it comes to sleep, physiological factors are just as important as spiritual factors, okay? So make sure that you have an empty stomach when you go to sleep, or at least not too full. Your digestion should be okay. Look, when I have problems with my sleep, it's because of my digestion, always, okay? Other than that, banish, keep your mind clean, keep your energy balanced, and that's it. Yeah. So, yeah. And don't eat too close to bedtime. Why did Lucifer want you to connect him with more people? Well, did he tell me what? Yeah. Why not? You know, I mean, I'm sure the reason is individual, you know. I mean, I don't think there's one reason. I think there are many reasons, and those reasons are as many people as will be connected to him. You know? The grail of the serpent is, or me in this case, is just an emissary. You know, somebody that can reach a lot of people and gives you his message. You see. What may be a way to extinguish family debts, and is it required also in that case to take action on a mundane level? Yes, you should always back spiritual action with mundane action, okay? But what is a good way to banish family debt? Oh man. How do you get out of debt? How do you get out of debt? Okay, the first thing that I would do in order to get out of debt is a little counterintuitive, okay? But let's say you have a certain amount that you're paying in debt, okay? Pay half of that, and the other half you put into a money magnet. It's counterintuitive, I know, but a money magnet keeps attracting money to you, okay? So whatever amount of money you have should be able to put into the money magnet, okay? This is gonna make money coming to you, but maybe refinance the debt so you can, so you can lower the monthly payments, or maybe you can lower the interest rate, right? Refinancing the debt just means that, I don't know, let's say you have 100 grand in debt, and with one bank I don't know, the interest rate is 8%. Another bank tells you, listen, or you go there and you ask them, listen, what if I get a loan from you, which allows me to pay off that loan with those guys, and instead I'll pay you 6%. Okay. Now of course you gotta sell it. You don't tell them like, I just want to pay you less than the other bank. You gotta make it make sense to them. For instance, like, okay, what helps is if you give a benefit to the individual that's supposed to decide that. Okay, so during the end of the year or the end of the month, they have certain quotas to fulfill. Okay, so let's say they have to sell insurance or other financial products. So you tell them, okay, well, I'm really interested in this financial product, and I would like to get it. However, before that, I would also like to, refinance some debt. Are you interested in that? Okay, and if you can make it work for both of you, that's definitely going to work, right? So you refinance the debt. You pay a lower interest rate, which lowers your monthly payments, and then even if it's just 10% of that payment, take that 10%, put it into a money magnet, okay? You keep paying the debt, right? And then you got to reduce your costs. You reduce your costs, and that will make sure that you have more time. Because, look, financial freedom is really about having more time. Okay, having more time, meaning you can live off of less money, and that less money that you pay allows you to spend more time doing other things. Okay, so the bottom line is this: you reduce your costs, meaning you cut out everything that you don't absolutely need. Okay, which should allow you to spend more time on other things. If not, if you just have a fixed amount of hours, still you should do that, because then you have more money that you can, either put in your money magnet, or you can start investing in things, whatever. Right? Bottom line, the mistake that you shouldn't make is take all of your money to pay off your debt. It's not a good idea. Do it as I said, and then you use Pareto to increase your free time and to increase your productivity. Okay. With that additional free time, let's say you did all of that and you have an additional 2 hours per day because you use Pareto. What does that mean? When you use Pareto, you focus on the 20% that give you 80% of the results. Okay? So you don't do all of the stupid shit like your own wash, or which I'm still doing, of course, right? The point is, you will be able to cut out a lot of stupid shit that doesn't give you any rewards. You see what I mean? This is why I get so upset with wasted time, And the people around me often don't understand. It's why are you like this? Why are you like that? For instance, for me, any conversation that is not important it feels like a waste of time to me. You see? So, and it is. Because people, if you let them, they will just abuse you and use your time. And there's nothing more valuable than your time, okay? But let's say you're able to use Pareto to get rid of all these stupid distractions, right? Those are 2 additional hours per day, for instance, could be more. Okay, Pareto means that you don't watch Netflix. Instead, you educate yourself, for instance, or you just don't watch Netflix. Boom, another hour per day, right? Or you just, I don't know, you just, there's so many things where you're wasting time, I promise you. Okay, so you have 2 additional hours per day, and you can use that to build a side hustle. Okay, a side hustle. What are you good at? Why don't you offer coachings, guys? Why don't you offer coachings for something? A lot of you guys work out. I know it. I see it. Okay, learn to offer coachings for how to get into shape. A lot of you guys there's something you must be good at, I'm sure, okay? And you build a side hustle with those 2 hours a day to have you to make additional income, okay? And when you do it smart, what will be a smart way of doing that? Well, there are many ways, but if you do it smart, you will usually very, very fast be able to replace the income that you get from your job, you see? And then, you have an additional income, 2 incomes. And that will allow you to pay off your debt faster, and you can do all kinds of things. But the bottom line is this. There's a process, and what I just gave you here, that could get you rid of, that could really help you get rid of that debt very fast, depending on how much it is. What is a money magnet, a kind of practice or business idea? A money magnet is a separate account that you never touch, meaning you just make deposits. You never withdraw money from it. You just put money into it. And the sole purpose of that thing is to attract more money to you. I don't know why it works. I don't know how it works. It just does work. When you do that consistently, you will also see your statistics go up, simultaneously. Yeah. How to give offerings via incense. Look, you have a lot of potential. Look, an offering is essentially energy dedicated to a specific spirit, right? So in incense, you have a lot of potential energy. Okay. And through your mind and through your intention, you can direct it towards the spirit that you wanted to that you want to receive that energy. Okay. So as it is burning, you just consecrate the incense to that spirit. Okay. So you consecrate it basically, whatever. Let's, for instance, Lucifer, whatever. May this offering be to of your for your pleasure and a sign of my whatever appreciation, you know, some shit like that. Do you know about multiple realities and which one are you in? Yeah, I know about multiple realities. Which one am I in? The one I'm winning. And I'm in the reality that where I'm winning. Why would I be in another one? I mean, I'm sure some of you are in a reality where you're losing, but that's stupid. Go into a reality where you're winning. Go into a reality where you feel good. Go into a reality where you're accomplishing what it is that you want. You know? Well, how do you do that? Well, what creates reality? That's, you know, what is it? What is reality? Okay, let me show you, or let me explain a quick mechanism, which is going to completely illustrate this, and that should clarify that for from now on forever. Okay, so we all know that the mind affects the body, but how? How? I just lifted my arm, right? Just lifted my arm, okay? Now what is happening there? In order for me to lift my arms, there are a bunch of muscles that have to be contracting, right? Bunch of muscles that contract. In order for the muscle to contract, there's a different, I think it's potassium that has to go into the muscle and calcium goes out, or vice versa, you know? But that is what causes contraction of the muscle, okay? For that to happen, there's a pump in the cell that has to open up. Now, that pump opening up is a change in the conformation. Conformation is basically just the shape of it, okay? It works like an enzyme, all right? Now, for small things like that to happen, an electron has to change, or basically the spin of an electron needs to shift, okay? The shift of the spin of an electron, which is the direction that it spins in, okay? Just that change causes a change in the conformation of that molecule in the cell wall, and then allows for that other stuff that happens in terms of muscles contracting and then me lifting my arm, right? So this thought is an electrical signal, okay, that changes the spin inside of that construct that needs to change in order for me to lift my arm, right? Now, the bottom line is this: there are thoughts, but what is a thought really? You know, where does it come from? There's an entity or a spirit that is not inside of the brain that is making the brain think something or send a signal essentially to that part where that change happens. Okay, so there's a quantum effect going on. Okay, quantum effect changing the spin of the electron. So in order to change matter with it, or in order to change matter with a thought, there has to be an emotion connected to it. All right? So how do you get yourself into a new reality? Okay? This is a quantum system. Based on what quantum reality you resonate with, you will see a different reality playing out. Okay? And this is the interface. This is the interface. Your perception, your energy is the interface that allows you to shift into different realities. But what is it exactly? It's obviously not just thinking about it. What you have to do is you have to feel. Okay? The emotion is what really, what's the word? The emotion is what really changes reality for you, or basically makes you shift into a new reality. When you change your emotion about something, you can affect it physically. Okay, this is also important in a ritual, of course. You got to feel that new reality. You got to feel the result that you want to create. How do you accomplish goals? How do you accomplish goals? Not just by writing them down. You could, another example would be, see, we have a left hemisphere, which is rational. We have a right hemisphere that is emotional. Goals have to be set here in the emotional part. You have to be emotionally, unreasonably, because oftentimes your goals are not reasonable. They shouldn't be reasonable, actually. You know? You have to be unreasonably convinced that you will accomplish that goal, and then you will find a way. But it is all about the emotion, you see. The emotional part is crucial. So this is how you change reality and how you shift into a new reality, okay? This is how you, that's called reality transurfing, or you could call it, reality shifting, alternate realities, whatever. It's all about your emotion. What the signal to tune into the new reality is your feeling, okay? You gotta feel it. That's crazy.
Where did you find me?
He
It's
says,
not real, is
he
it?
says, this is what I look like when I leave the store with an iPhone 12 in my mouth. He just stole an iPhone 12. The guy has a strong jawline. That's sexy. Damn. Okay. I agree. I stopped wasting my time on unnecessary things, and I started to focus on reading about things I want to attract into my life, and it helped. My friend, you are a living magnet. You are a living magnet. You know what you become? The things that you think about most. It's so simple. Like, come on. In a way, life is really simple, isn't it? Isn't it, right? You are a living magnet, and you're attracting what you think about and feel. You know, what you feel will be the result of what you think about. So at the end of the day, you become what you think about for the most of the time. That's it. So all you gotta control is what goes in here, in terms of people, conversations, information that you consume, and that's it. And then your life is under control. It's actually very simple, man. You just gotta stop letting people abuse your time and your energy, man. Start valuing yourself. and your goals and your convictions. Okay? Fuck those losers. What are they gonna do for you? You know? How do you gain justice from wrongdoing from a person? I've tried High John the Conqueror. What other options are available to me? I don't even know that guy. High John the Conqueror. Is that a sounds like a Renaissance, I don't know, like an English lord or something like that from the 16th century. High John, what? Whatever. High John the Conqueror. If you want justice, okay, well, you want justice. Do you know what it's like when you're sitting in front of Google? You can literally ask any question and nothing shows up. I mean, there are so many options I could tell you. Any spirit that is you know, that deals with attacks, that deals with protection, all of these guys. Yeah? How can you filter out thought forms that aren't in alignment with what you want? Yeah, that's good. You got to make the others stronger. The ones that you want. They feed off of you, remember. They feed off you. Feed off your energy. So you got to focus. You got to control your focus. That's it. And you got to focus on the ones that you want more than on the ones that you don't want. I have a good general idea on what I want to do with what I want to do to fulfill my purpose. Do I have to know the specifics to be in alignment with my purpose, or can I let the pieces fall into place? The more you move into the direction, the clearer it's going to become. You know, so don't worry about being 100% sure about it, but the general direction is good enough. Okay, so move into the general direction. The closer you get to it, the clearer it's going to get. What is your daily meditation routine? Meditate at least twice a day. And usually before I start my day. You know, sometimes I work out before. I like to work out before meditating too. Basically, I'm wasting my time meditating 5 hours a day doing all the chakra work. Why is that wasting your time? Why is that wasting your time? because I don't do it, well, I don't know. I had phases when I was doing that. I had phases when I was, but this is when I had much more time, you know. When I, where I was meditating for 6 hours. Yeah, I had phases in my life where I was doing it. Yeah. Okay, that's good. Lots of people have hit me up about Lucifer. Well, lots of people, that's relative. Okay, that's really relative. But you should take advantage of this. Absolutely. So hit me up, send me a message, and get connected to that guy. It's definitely going to change your life. Okay, wow. Hey, Nicole, what's up? How's it going? What do you think about semen retention? I don't know why people ask that all the time. Well, I don't practice it. I know that it can make you stronger in your manifestations, but I don't practice it. Here's what I think you guys should do. When it comes to semen retention, semen retention is probably not a good thing, but no, I'm not gonna go into that. It's fine. Okay, I hope you got something out of this. I talk to you soon. Like I said, contact me, message me if you want to be connected to that spirit. Okay. Be well. Bye bye.